has been a tradition of the Englishmen starting the game here also. You have the Madras Cricket Club, which is obviously in the same compound as the TNC, and it's also sort of flanking the Max Stadium. So the colonial days, the game was started, and it's obviously passed down to the generations. And it's not dissimilar to Mumbai in the sense that the colonial days was when the cricket started. In those days, from what I hear, it was structured around, let's say, 3-4 localities like Triplicane, Mylapore, T Nagar, what was called Mamlam those days. And that is where a lot of cricket was played, and a lot of cricketers have gone on to play, let's say, first division cricket or represent the state or even the country. So it was restricted to about 3-4 localities of Chennai. And the fact is that a lot of cricketers ensured that they went and played inter-locality matches those days, which is what led to the proliferation of cricket in the whole of city. Wherever you go in Chennai, you would see kids playing around with a bat and ball, and that was the case when I grew up as well. I was living close to the shoreline, which meant that all the kids would obviously hop onto a bicycle or whatever, walk it up to the beaches, and then have a game of cricket, be it on the sand or be it on the lawns, adjoining the main road there. Or you would always have the audacity to play on the roads when you'll have vehicles going along. But even then, when we are playing, the vehicles would slow down. They'll wait for us to give them some leeway for them to pass through, and that is how cricket was accepted. And I don't see many changes that has taken place. By that I mean that cricket still remains a favorite game of the Chennaites. I think it's basically the tremendous support from the corporate houses. If you look at the way the league structure goes on today, you will see that almost all the sides in the first division is sponsored by some corporate entity or other, and it's even gone down to the stage where even the teams in the lower divisions, that is from divisions 2 to 6, they do have some sponsors supporting them. And I think that has been the biggest advantage that cricket has enjoyed in Chennai. Basically, all the teams are sponsored by the companies, as I said earlier, and what they do is that various companies operate in various ways in terms of employing cricketers. Some companies prefer to have them as regular employees, which means that even after they finish playing their cricket, they can still continue working in the company, and some prefer to hire them on contract basis. But what it's done is that it's at least made youngsters continue playing cricket even during their college days, for the simple reason they know if they are good enough to play for the state, or if they are good performers in the league, they do get a sizable amount of money, a salary or stipend or scholarship, whatever term you want to use. And that is what has made a lot of cricketers continue playing. You don't see that happening in the other parts of the country. You don't have any corporate supporting cricketers, league cricketers I mean. And jobs have become very scarce, and this is probably the only place in the country where even today a league cricketer can be sort of secure about his job. It's basically a question of people not sort of getting the right chances in some cases, and also boils down to the fact that Tamil Nadu has always had a lot of brilliant and talented cricketers, but somehow together they have not gone on to win as many titles as they are expected to, or potentially they thought they could win. And that has been the biggest drawback for not many people from here going on to play for the country. Like, let's say, a classic example is Mumbai, where a lot of cricketers have gone on to represent India and represent long as well. So it's been a case of a combination of factors, but still the fact remains that even today one can say with enough pride that the league cricket is probably the most well structured and the most competitive one in the whole of India today. Yeah, there will be a change, for the simple reason each one of us is a product of the environment that we grow up in and the upbringing, as it were. When I say upbringing, I'm talking about the cricket upbringing here. I'm not talking about the other kind of upbringing that's normally associated with the word. I'm talking with respect to cricket. What happens is that today it's a question of all quick results. Everything, everybody and everything has to happen so quickly. Everybody expects quick results, and they're also brought up with an approach to play to perform. So in that, what happens is the skills might take a back seat, In the olden days, like even Anil Kumble was mentioning some years ago, he said we are all brought up in an era where we are made to really sort of practice art, develop our skills, and then only get to play games. But nowadays, what happens is that with a lot of interest developing among kids, and even more so with the parents vying for their kids to make it big in cricket, what is happening is that a lot of coaching camps have emerged. That's a good thing. But somewhere down the line, what happens is that they are probably instilled into this game or made to play the competitive format of cricket too soon. In that, what happens is before they really develop their skills, they go on to play, and everything is based on numbers. Everything is just on numbers. I don't think that's the right thing. So what I'm trying to get at is that you can't really blame the cricketers of the current generation. They're of course products of the environment that they are brought up on. It has not had a major impact for the simple reason, even today you will see a lot of schools and colleges having their own grounds where you can comfortably have a game of cricket, unlike in Bombay where a lot of matches are played within a short span of ground available. That way it has not made a huge impact. But the one fact that is missing is that you don't see many kids playing cricket on the streets like it used to happen in our days. And these days it's a rarity if you see some kids playing on the road. That is what is missing, if at all there is anything missing when you compare what used to happen then and what is happening now. But overall, I think Chennai is still got its grounds intact. In fact, the other side of the spectrum is that a few grounds have been identified and developed by some corporate entities. The latest to come up is one outside the city that is being taken up by the Murugappa group, and it's come out well. So even if the association were to lose a couple of grounds due to various reasons, they always got some substitute or the other. Yeah, the cricket at the grassroots level has to definitely change quite a lot in the format that they play in, and also it should be a situation where people should seek schools to participate in the tournaments. And I had suggested some time ago to the TNCA that the qualified coaches in the association should be given to the schools so that they start a team, and that way you bring more cricketers out, more talent out. Because what is happening now is that if you look at the Tamil Nadu Ranji side, it's got a lot of youngsters who will probably play together for another 6-7 years maybe. But after that, what happens? There was a sort of a dip in the late 90s due to the very same reason, because everybody was sitting on whatever was happening then, feeling very safe and secure. But suddenly they realized a few cricketers went out, that's it. So a similar situation should not happen again. Once that is covered for, I think Tamil Nadu cricket is still going to be a strong force to reckon with, and hopefully it won't be a mere hope and expectation to think that Tamil Nadu is capable of winning. Hopefully they'll end up winning more often than not.